Okay, go ahead. What got you interested in coaching?
So I have gotten coaching already in another game. I had positive experiences with it. So I said, okay, I'm having problems. Might as well get a coach.
Fair enough. Works for me. Okay, so let's look at this here. What's your history with Overwatch? You said you played another game. I'm looking through your forum here. Play Naraka Blade Point. Melee-centric battle royale. That's cool. A melee-centric battle royale. Ooh.
It's not big in the West, but like one of the largest games in China.
Oh, Naraka Blade Point.
But it's like 180 from Overwatch.
Right.
So there's no cross progression.
Gotcha. So what got you interested in the game, I guess? That game.
Naraka is just, I was looking, because at the time when Naraka came out, I was kind of burnt out from Overwatch, just because I had some shitty friends. That whole idea, and I found it was a small community, found some friends there. I mean, I played in some tournaments, even though I was shit.
Yeah.
But I'm consistently top there.
Okay, so. Cool. That's awesome. And then you said you played Overwatch before that as well?
Yeah, I started, I think, a month before Echo released. And it's my first shooter ever. So I don't have any aiming experience on it. And I just played Orisa.
Okay. And then what rank were you in prior to that?
I think in Overwatch 1 I was like always around mid-gold.
Okay.
I dropped to like 700 once, like the Genji meta.
Yeah.
In 2020. That was rough.
Okay. And you're back on the grind on Overwatch 2. What got you back, and then how has your experience been?
I was hyped for Overwatch 2. I heard all the fucking doomsayers and like, yeah, I'm hyped. I want to play it. I want to play new heroes. I mean, I picked up Tracer and Widow now. And I just said, complete new sheet. Just play it. It's fun.
Okay, sounds good. So you've been enjoying it. All right, and then let's check out your goals here. So your goals are... Man, what happened to my questions here? Okay, goals are this year you want to hit Diamond if you have enough time. This season to get into mid-high plat. Okay, sounds good. Look at the rest of your forum here. And then, okay, so then what do you hope to get out of the session? He says, understanding not only what I do wrong or think of wrong, but also see where I can improve on areas that I haven't even considered. Elaborate on that one a little bit for me.
So, like, the obvious stuff is aiming, is like positioning, cooldown management.
Yep.
And that's like the obvious stuff I, of course, want improvement on. But there are areas like, okay, how to, like, I'm very bad at ult tracking. And I don't even like do it consciously like when I play. And one of the areas that I'm like is like, okay, matchups. I'm like, okay, but like in Tracer 1, like I'm the worst in Tracer 1v1s. I can't do it.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, it's a bit tricky for sure. Okay, and then let's look at your actual training schedule here. 30 minutes aim before a session, about 4 to 5 times a week since November. What kind of aim training do you do? What aim trainer do you use?
I used like aim labs till like December, and then just some in-game codes.
Okay, sounds good. Which codes have you been using in-game?
Oh, I wish I knew how they are called, but it's like there's a bunch of heroes running around. You can adjust the difficulty and then K5, obviously.
Is it Vaxta?
K5.
Is it Vaxta? Do you know if it's Vaxta?
I think it's Vaxta. It's Vaxta.
Okay, perfect. That one's good. I like ZHTD8 as well. I'll send this one to you. I think that one's pretty reasonable as well. There's a lot of settings you can toy around with that one, but I like that one. Do you use Tryhard FFA?
No, not really.
Okay, have you tried using it, or is this the first you've heard of it?
I think I heard of it, but I don't know. I just never considered it.
Okay, I would give it a shot if I were you. Let me actually stream you what it looks like really fast, because I think it's pretty decent. So this is what I used when I oh my goodness, this one is not great ping. But usually there's enough folks in the lobby. It depends on what time of day you go. Sometimes they're filled up, but I would at least give it a shot here. So this one's got this one's not bad. This is an EU lobby. But like you can see here, oh, I'm dead. Crap, I mess up. Respawn, and I do it again. And there's 12 people in the lobby. There's all sorts of stuff. Zenyatta, Cassidy, Ashe, like all sorts of juicy stuff like that. And the other thing you'll notice as well is if I try and change heroes, do you see what's enabled here? Even if I go to Junker Queen, look at Junker Queen, watch. So she's got reduced HP and she has no shift.
So you like actually train like stuff like that.
Yeah. So you're not playing like against Roadhog usually. And now they might even have Roadhog enabled, but Roadhog will have like no heal and he'll be like 500 HP or something foolish like that. And so it's like the best way to aim train in the game. Just because it's not just aim training raw, it's like you actually have to practice 1v1s. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that you really want to be able to do as much as you can. My only complaint, I think, with the mode is that I think there's too many people. I think 12 is a little bit too much. I think 10, it gets a little bit chaotic. It gets a little bit chaotic. But when I was playing Zenyatta, like I got so good at 1v1ing tracers because of this game mode. So I would give that one a shot.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so I would check that one out. I like Vaxta. Maybe try out ZHTDA as well and see what that looks like as well. And then 30 minutes is probably reasonable. Do you enjoy aim training? Is that something that you like doing a lot?
So it's I like to do it. I mean, it gets frustrating if you have a bad day, but I don't mind it. It's like I see it as a routine.
Okay, fair enough. Works for me. And 30 minutes is not like hours, so it totally works for me. Okay, 4 to 5 times a week since November. Okay. Have you seen improvements from your aim training? Do you feel like your mechanics have gotten better since then?
Definitely.
Okay, perfect. All right, and
they've been stagnant.
Okay, sounds good. Maybe this is where we incorporate some of the suggestions that I have. Maybe you'll see a little bit of changes with it. And ultimately, like the best thing that you could do is to get better at the game is to just play the game.
Play it.
But I definitely think that hopefully this will help a little bit as well. Okay, question for you when it comes to ranked training. So I want your feedback or your insight on what you're doing besides just your training with aim. How much rank are you playing per day? Are you consistent with it? You take days off? Fill me in on all the details.
So I don't have much time to play. I'm in uni, very busy schedule, so I would say I play a max of 1 or 2 games a day.
Okay, sounds good. So
I can't really get into it.
Okay. And
also have internet problems. That's the biggest thing.
That sucks. Okay, so 1 or 2 games per day consistently. Do you have any days where you play more or less?
Probably the weekends a bit more.
Okay, how much is usually?
When I really feel it, I can play like 10 to 20 games, but I haven't done that in a long time.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I think like the consistency is key. Now, if you're only able to play 2 games per day, we're going to have a hard time. But I would rather you play 2 games per day every day than you to like skip like 3 or 4 days in a row and try and play like 15 games on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? It's that's just not a good way to improve. It just isn't. Okay, so here's what I'm going to suggest. I'm going to suggest aiming for 2 games every single day. And if you can't do 2 games every single day, then you need to cut back on the aim training. Maybe even just do 5 or 10 minutes as just a warm-up, because playing the game is going to be more important than the 30 minutes of aim training. Because that's essentially, I mean, that right there is essentially a game in of itself, right? Like that's 30 minutes is at least 1 map. So what I would do is I would probably do, if I couldn't play 2 games, then I would do only 5 or 10 minutes of aim training and aim for 2. Or maybe even you might do 10 to 15 minutes of warm-up, 5 to 10 minutes of warm-up, and then do 3 games if you can. Do you see what I'm saying? Find some way to make that work, because I think 2 games per day, if we're trying to get you to like, let's say plat, that has to happen. I mean, plat isn't the highest rank in the world, but we have to be able to do that. And then I'll also say on the weekends, make sure that you're not playing like catch-up mentality, but that you're actually playing like, all right, listen, I'm not going to be able to compensate for the games I'm not playing during the week. Let me just play 5, 6, 7 games. And then if you want to play more than that, you're playing
if
it for
fun. If it works out, it works. And if it's not, then just
you're just playing for fun. You're just playing for fun at that point, right? But you're still getting in the first couple of games, intense practice like it's a normal day of the week. Okay, so 2 games per day, 15-20 minutes of aim training, and then obviously if you're only playing 2 games per day, you need goals, right? You need to be like super efficient with your time. And then hopefully we have some goals from the session. That's going to be the goal here. Okay, so any questions so far, by the way?
Not really.
Okay, sleep looks good. Widowmaker and Tracer, primarily able to flex on the Sojourn Reaper. Okay, where are we at with the heroes that you play?
So
is it still that, or what are we at?
Yeah, it's about that. I mean, I've played a bunch of heroes, so like in my rank, I can comfortably flex to more. But that's like the primary stuff I play. Okay. But I try to force Trace and Willow because I want to learn them.
You should force them, because the problem even with your logic there, respectfully, is you say, what, my rank, well, you're not playing for your rank, are you? You're playing for plat. So you're going to need to be able to perform above and beyond, and to perform above and beyond, especially with only 2 games per day, you're going to need to play Widowmaker and Tracer. I mean, it's going to be hard enough to pick up 2 heroes with the amount of time that you're playing. And I will also go as far to say I would be almost scientific with the way I would be playing. So what I might try is I might try playing 1 of each hero every day, see how that goes. And then I might try playing only Widowmaker 2 games, and then the next day play 2 games of Tracer. Or I might try going 2 days in a row of just Widowmaker and then 2 days in a row of just Tracer. And I know that might be hard. Like if you load into like a Lijiang Tower and you're like, oh, I gotta play Widowmaker on this map, you know, it might be kind of hard. But I would be curious about like which recipe works best. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's what we're cooking right now, and I think that's definitely something worth putting time into, because you got nothing else better to do. You're only playing 2 games per day. There's only so many combinations that there are available. So you need to find out what the most efficient use of your time is, and I think that's going to be on your end of the court to figure out. But I do encourage you to do that. Okay. The same thing goes with like your aim training, right? Like what's the best aim trainer out of that? Is it Vaxa? Is it Tryhard? Is it whatever? Like I don't know, but you need to find out because you've only got so much time. Okay. Last question here. What do you feel is holding you back? Mechanics, of course. Timing on engaged, peaks, and some mentality. Okay, mechanics we've talked about a little bit, but timing on engaged, peaks, mentality. Break me down each one of those.
So timing on engage and like peaks is like, especially for Trace and Widow then, like I don't have experience on them, so I'm still lacking and behind probably on them.
Naturally.
And mentality is a combination. It's like you get frustrated, you try to do everything, you get to 40 elims a match and you still lose over and over. And then, I mean, internet issues, I lag out in the game and we lose the fight even though we are so far up. Which is, I think, what happens in the replay code too.
No. Okay.
And it builds up.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're playing 2 games a day. You're gonna have some issues, you know, and you're also playing 2 high skill heroes, right? Like 2 of the highest skill heroes in the game.
I picked them because they are high skill. Yeah, I want to really learn it.
So you're crazy. You're playing picking the highest skill heroes and not near giving them enough time to master them. But you know what?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I mean, I've done that in Raka too. I played the lowest skill, like the lowest value hero.
Yeah.
And just put all my time into it, and it was like, it's cool. Yeah. So I like doing a little challenges too in it.
I get it. I mean, it definitely makes it fun to train because you know what it also feels like? It feels like when you lose a game, it's not like, oh, I'm just bad. It's like, oh, this hero's really hard. I'll figure it out though. You know, it's like somehow it feels like you're testing it. So yeah, no, I respect it, and I think you can do it. I don't think we're gonna get you to like masters, but maybe we can get you through flat. You know, but I think like it's all gonna be about like how focused can you be. Can you detach yourself from the foolishness when it comes to the stupid lagging out? Like, okay, it sucks, you can't control it. Oh, what you can control is making sure that you have focus on the goals inside the game, and obviously your training schedule, like we talked about. And then obviously, like you said, timing your peaks, still learning the hero. Okay, we'll go over that. Anything else that you want to go over, or any other questions?
Not really, no.
Okay, is the code that you linked 4, 5, 6 days ago still relevant? The CR7? Or do you want to have another one for me?
I checked it today.
Okay.
Unless they did an update an hour ago.
Well, I don't care. I also wasn't sure if that was the one you still wanted to use. It should definitely still work here. Widowmaker, Tracer, and Bastion. I'm not looking at your Bastion.
At the very end.
I'm not looking at your Bastion. I refuse.
Bastion is fun.
Yeah, but I don't care. It's not about what's fun, right? We're not playing video games for fun. We're playing to improve it all out, sacrifice everything.
That's true. Oh yeah, the grind set.
Don't eat, don't sleep. Okay. So I will say that we might need another code as well, because this is just Coliseo, so we probably will crank through this one pretty darn quickly. So if you have another code, code.
Probably.
Okay.
Let me pull it up.
We'll pull it up for now, and then we'll have it just in case.
Yep.
Hit scan and gold. Yes.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Are you pulling it up now?
Yeah, it's loads of it.
No, it's fine. I wasn't sure if this was just awkward silence or productive silence. You know, so I had to make sure.
Something in between.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Sounds good. What is the context of your name? It's one of the more unusual names I've seen.
So
how do you pronounce it, by the way? Duoni? Dooney. Okay.
So I was originally named like Don Kongs, and we had like a little gaming clan for our little village.
Yeah. Yeah.
which like done, and that's where it comes from. Then just for simplicity, because no one was pronounced or write that name.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Dooney.
Okay.
Dooney. And the 0 because no O.
Ah, okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Huh.
Okay.
What's your least favorite hero in the game?
Probably Mei or Genji.
To play or play against, or both?
Play against Genji just because he dropped me to bronze. And Mei, I don't know. I just don't like Mei as a character.
Makes sense.
In both aspects.
Fair enough.
Okay.
You got the code?
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna throw it in Discord.
Give me a second.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, let's we have our fail safe just in case. Are you in stream?
Yep.
Let's do it. What is Widowmaker good at? Obvious question, but give me an obvious answer.
I mean, one taps.
Yeah, sure. What kind of a range do you supposed to play with this hero? Obviously.
It's like mid to long range.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, sounds good. I will say on this map for rollout, you can do this. You can grapple up here and cancel your grapple jump and just kind of like launch yourself. And you will have it back by the time the fight actually starts. So it's not like you wasted the cooldown.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, you're spamming around the spawn room is left you without a full clip and it's tilting me. Good Venomine there.
Oh, I did notice that.
yeah. Good Venomine here. This is fine. I think obviously if you could place it like on the wall, it's a little bit better, but I appreciate that we're thinking about it. Nice shot. Unknowing. That's okay. You forced res. Obviously they were playing 4v5 for a period of time. This is good. So what I might do here is like, when you're transitioning from point A to point B and there's just nothing to do, you can throw out your Venomine like here, or throw it on the back wall here, or maybe throw it up here. You might as well. There's really nothing else for you to do at this point in time, so you might as well. Make sense?
Yeah, I just forget the Venomine sometimes.
Yeah, it's easily forgettable, but I think with it being able to give you wall hacks, it's like, it is worth using when there's nothing else to do. So, this is where we just have to be really careful. Because you talk about like mid to long range, and you're right, 100%. Maybe if this was like a Widowmaker duel and you wanted to be sneaky, you could peek these close angles, you know. But obviously, like, you look at the comp now, and if I press right click right now, oh dear, this doesn't feel very safe to me.
Close.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I understand, like, Colosseum is not the easiest Widowmaker map because what are you going to do? Like, play over here? You know, and shoot nothing? Obviously not. You need to do something. But we can always take, okay, this is a suboptimal situation. How do we make this better? You tell me.
So I could go like behind the Kiriko in this case.
Yeah, like here.
Or I just
or
like
here, or here even
right to the Romato and focus on the healers.
Right. So you could either do one or two things, like you said. You could either position, like I love this position, I think, right here. Like you get a perfect sightline through here, you get the little door frame here. I like this really good, and you've got good cover too, right? You don't have cover where you're at right now. Or like you said, you theoretically could push up, but push up and back, I guess. Like I don't really know how to describe it, to where there's still more of a distance. It wouldn't be perfect because I don't like the cover here, but it has to be a bit better than where we're going. So just maintain.
I was a bit surprised here.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't want to be surprised as Widow. That's what you do. You always have to kind of have a general awareness of where the enemy team is. Nice bit of mine. But like even here, it's like there's no reason for you to be here when I think you could get the same sightline from like here, just a little bit further. And the reason why that's important is it's harder for the enemy team to shoot you. It's harder for them to see you. It's harder for them to dive you. And actually, if you think about it, even from like an aiming perspective, yes, their hitboxes are a little bit bigger as you get closer, but also the movement with your arm is more aggressive, which means it's easier to miss. Do you see what I'm saying? Whereas here...
Yeah, and they are moving faster for me.
Correct. So it's like here, yes, they're going to be smaller on your screen, but they're also going to be, like you said, moving slower and at an easier scope range. So we want, that's probably where we want to be. We want you. I mean, you can see the problem with your distance right here.
Yeah.
He doesn't just dash onto you. He actually dashes through you. Now after 180, you took the 50 damage. It's just worst case scenario. And now you have to grapple, whereas it should have been he dashes you, you grapple away, and now you're really far. And now
yeah, in a way better position.
Right, right. Nice shot, but your mechanics are carrying you right now. Ooh. That's unlucky. It's okay. It happens. You know, it happens. You shouldn't have taken that damage in the first place. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. So all about playing the distance, playing a little bit closer to cover. Maybe some things we could have done with Venom Mine earlier on, but I think mostly fine. And then like right here, for example, like what you're doing now is fine because I'm gonna ask you a question. Are you gonna get punished for peeking now, even though the fight is lost?
Not really. No. Far away.
Right. But you can't stay here. We're talking 2 shots and you're out of dodge, right? Surely. 1, 2, out of dodge. I knew it. I knew there would be 3. I just somehow knew it would be 3. And you're probably dead now. You're probably dead. Oh, almost. Okay. Uh-oh. Bye.
Yeah, it's unlucky.
That's unfortunate. Okay, whatever. Stuff happens. Okay. Obviously playing a little bit back because... Okay, now as our tank walks up, we can walk up as well. And you could probably pop sights here. Yep, look at that. So again, if we talk about positioning here, it's Colosseo, right? It's not the best Widowmaker map in the world, but this positioning seems pretty reasonable to me. So you tell me, what is good about this positioning?
I have multiple cover. If someone pushes me, they have to kind of push through my team too.
Yep. What about kind of a range are you playing versus these heroes?
So I primarily want to play long range because like Solj and Genji like get kind of scary at mid range already. But this is like it's a bit too close for me retrospectively.
Right. It's not bad, but I think it's tricky. And so maybe it's okay to do what you do now, but you need to be very aware. Okay, is Steve gonna die me? Maybe I need to disengage. I think the problem that you have right now, and this is the map, is where is a better position for you that's longer range? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know. So you will sometimes, and this is a good thing to remember. Sometimes on some maps, there are just going to be no positions for you to take good long sightlines. There just isn't, right? Not every map is Junkertown. So you will have to take more aggressive peaks like this, but let's remember 2 things. Number 1, always have cover. And number 2, take the longest version of that sightline that you can. So for example, right here is not only close to cover, like you said, but it's fairly long, as opposed to here. You see this?
Yeah.
This is just a worse version of the sightline. It's lower, it's closer, it's worse, right? So this is not great, but there isn't a better alternative. I would rather you do this here than this here. And remember, we talked about that here as well. Was there a great position for you here? No, but this had to be better than this. You know what I'm saying? And that adjustment is like actually major.
I think I missed everything here.
It happens. It's a really hard shot. You're not going to hit most of your shots as Widowmaker. That's just the way it goes. And you did force nade. You forced Genji dash. You forced Genji attention. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Fucking rockets, man.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. This fight was ironically, this was your best fight, you know? And that's the way ranked goes. Sometimes your best fights, you die anyway. But you force a lot of cooldowns, you force a lot of tension. And here's the funny thing. Do you want to know why that Ana dies?
No, she does.
Let's see. She just used 1 cooldown, 2 cooldowns in you. Right? She was not paying attention whatsoever to your Ramatra. And in addition to that, she did not have Sleep Dart for the Ramatra ult, did she?
No.
And that's your fault. You did it, you know? And this is what happens. Like, and let's look at the Genji. Like, why is Genji out of the fight? Look at this. Completely out of the fight. He's not in your back. Like, look at this. Look at this. He does actually nothing this entire fight. So, would the Genji have carried this fight? Maybe, maybe not. He had Blade, right? He had Blade, but he was busy chasing you. So, even though you do nothing directly, because you make good decisions, used your ult well, grappled well, positioned well, you actually buy your team so much time and so much space that they actually win the fight. Make sense?
And that's the beauty of Widow. Just force attention.
Right.
You have to deal with a Widow.
Right.
If they hit someone.
Even though your support's kind of messed up here, I feel like they should have healed you. You win the fight based off of the things that you did. You helped. Yeah. Right. Okay, so we're on Tracer. So the key takeaways for Widowmaker right now are what? What are the simplest things that you need to practice a little bit more that you saw?
So definitely look for better positions.
What is a better position?
Ideally more cover and a good sideline.
Right.
Than a better sideline, no cover.
Right. Correct. Just a little bit more distance between yourself and the enemy team. Is there ever an exception to the rule where you need to only play range?
When there's like not really an alternative, really.
Right, exactly. And then you need to find the best version of that position. Another thing as well is like if you're playing into like a strictly Widow duel, sometimes you can be kind of cute with it, and play aggressively, try and catch her by surprise, because technically she matches your range, so it doesn't really matter what range you play. But okay, no questions?
No.
Okay, seems reasonable enough. We know exactly what we need to work on, and we'll keep that in mind. No, what I would like to do at the end of the VOD is type in your chat channel, but I'm sure we'll remember what those goals are. Okay, Tracer. What is Tracer good at? A little bit of a swap, right?
Yeah. Pretty much. So definitely 1v1s.
Excellent. Yeah.
Also, like just as Widow, force attention.
Yes, brilliant. I mean, that's really the goal of a lot of DPS heroes, right? But they just do so in different ways. So how does Tracer force attention? You talk about 1v1s.
So a good Tracer can basically 1v1 everything in the game, like DPS, support, especially supports. Go on the supports, and you get 3 people maybe, and your team can push, or you clean up after your tank.
Okay, taking favorable duels forces attention and your team can clean up. We saw that with Widowmaker. We're going to see that with Tracer. Now I want you to look at the enemy comp. Who are your best duels?
Definitely Mercy.
Shooting Mercy probably makes a lot of attention. Okay, who else?
Anna, you just have to be wary of the cooldowns.
Right. It's a skill matchup, but yeah, it's a favorable matchup. You force sleep, you force nade. I mean, we saw how that went last fight, right? You did that with Widowmaker, and you guys won the fight off of it. So, what about the other heroes?
Soldier is like scary.
Yeah.
Because he has a one-shot combo. If I get too close or not pay attention, and same with Genji, pretty much.
Yep.
And like Diva is not really worth it.
Right, exactly. The way to look at it, let me pull something up really fast. The way to look at it is the more favorable the 1v1, the more likely that A, you either get a kill, which obviously means that you get an advantage in the fight. So like if you can turn a 5v5 into a 4v5 because you killed somebody, then that's great. But the other way to look at it is like the better you are at somebody in a 1v1, the more resources that you're going to take besides that hero. In other words, if you dive an Ana, okay? So let's say that Tracer goes versus an Ana. You're good versus an Ana, so the Ana is going to need help, right? She's going to need maybe a Mercy pocket, maybe she's going to require maybe some Diva Matrix, right? Maybe she will require some Genji Shurikens, right? So what's going to happen is it's not just a 1-for-1 trade. It's actually a 1U for a 1.75 trade, right? The 7.5 being like Matrix, Mercy Pocket, Genji Attention, whatever, right? And the more favorable the 1v1, the more like a little squealing pig that target is going to cry for help, and the more help they're going to need, right? So if you're dealing a Zen, holy crap, this might be a 1-for-2 because that Zen's going to need a lot of help. Right? If it's a Widowmaker, it might be a 1-for-2.5 because if you get on top of a Widowmaker, she's going to need a lot of help, right? Now, let me ask you a question. Remember how we talked about with Widowmaker, how we want certain long-range sightlines, but if we can't, we can take the best of what we can get. Now, if they're not playing easily assassinatable heroes, that doesn't mean that your pick is bad necessarily either. For example, Tracer, if you are equally skilled, still beats Genji most of the time, right? It's just a little bit harder. Right? So instead of a 1 trade, what would you say? 1 point what? What would you say?
I mean, that comp specifically probably like 1.2.
Yeah, 1.2. So it's still a favorable trade. It's just not as favorable as maybe shooting the Ana. Okay, what about Soldier?
I actually think Soldier is negative value.
Oh, you think you do worse versus soldier?
I like 0.9 maybe. It's like not entirely. He has to use cooldowns too.
Okay.
But after the cooldowns, he's probably better off than me after that.
Okay, fair enough. Now let me be perfectly honest with you. This is a skill check. If you are worse than a soldier, it's because you're bad.
Definitely.
So what that is whenever you see matchups like this as Tracer, where you're like, I feel like I lose most of those matchups without them getting resources, then that raises, like, here, let me draw something beautiful right here. That's going to raise a red flag, right? And when we ask what the red flag might be, what do you think? Why do you think you struggle versus soldiers?
My blink movement is not that great.
Correct.
So I'm a bit predictable.
Okay. And he looks...
And I get over ambitious and then just get
makes sense.
in my face.
So we know the problem. That doesn't mean that you should avoid soldiers. It just means that you need to get good. Yeah. Okay? Now let me ask you a question. Let's say you're going versus a diva. You could definitely shoot a diva all the live long day. But again, that feels more like a 1-to-1 trade. Can she kill you? No. Can you kill her? No. So is it worth shooting a diva usually?
Usually, probably not.
Right.
But it's like, if you don't have anything else to do, you might as well.
Right, exactly. If you don't have anything else to do, and this is really important, if you don't have a position that you should be setting up for, then yes. One problem with tracers is that sometimes they'll take downtime as time to just shoot anything and everything instead of setting up for more valuable targets. It might be better to shoot nothing for 5 or 10 seconds than it is to shoot something all the time, but the something that you're shooting is never really a good trade.
I think I do that a bit, sadly.
Okay, we'll take a look. Okay. All right. Nice. She gets her mech back. That's okay. I mean, this makes sense, right? She's by herself. She's low. You're trying to help your Reaper. We don't say never shoot Diva, right? Obviously, you just have to use your sense. Okay. Baby Diva scares me, man.
Like,
and really, truly, there is nothing wrong with what you're doing here. This actually makes the most sense. Let her waste her time. This is actually a horrible stagger for her because she's not going to get her mech back anytime soon. This is a smart play. Hold on. Because this matters more, right? This is a better trade. Right, there's the Mercy Beam, there's the Sleep Dart, there's the Nade. She's still gonna need help. We recall. Now she's killable. Ha! I mean, that's worst case scenario for that diva. You know, all that time and she just dies right as the fight starts. That's horrible. Okay, this is good. Let's set up. Yeah. Nice. Probably didn't need a recall there, because obviously you didn't end up getting any HP out of it, and wasn't really used. There was no cooldowns left to spam at you, so maybe not the best use of recall there. Yeah, and then no blinks means that engagement is not favorable for you because he's gonna hit his dash. All right, so honestly, not too bad, not too shabby. We haven't seen enough for me to really come up with some things specific. Yeah, this is like a perfect example right here. So you were saying that this might be an issue for you.
Yeah, sometimes it does.
Right? What should you be doing right now?
Probably just go left to set up a bit more.
Sure.
I mean, do it usually after.
You can hide here. You could be going here and spawn camping this Ana, right? Or at least setting up, investing your time for the setup, right? To take those duels that we talked about. Because the duels that we talked about are often not going to present themselves. You have to work for them. You have to set up. You have to flank for them. Okay, that guy, I think his movement keys broke.
Yeah.
Alright, nice! Look at all this attention we're baiting. Don't have recalls, so be careful. Okay. Nice! Looking good. Your aims, your mechanics are not too bad.
But I think, like a minute maybe, I lag very bad.
Okay.
You'll see what I mean.
Okay. What should you
I think it loses the fight.
What should you be doing right now?
I honestly have zero clue in this position. Like, I see where the soldier is, and I know they're like respawning. I have zero clue what I'm supposed to do.
Okay. Let me bring your attention to what was happening last fight. Remember when you were shooting the diva? You should have been investing your time in setting up instead. Okay?
Yeah.
You're not an idiot. you know where this fight's going to happen. It's going to happen in one of two spots. It's either going to happen right here, or it's going to happen right here. In which case, where do you think that you should probably be? I wouldn't say this is like one spot, but there's a couple of options here.
So I would say to the... Oh, sorry.
You're good.
To the right here. Like
right here?
The wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Around here. See if there's like a healer sitting.
I love it. I love it. Love it. So why aren't you there? Or at least heading that way?
I didn't think of it.
Right. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Is your time as Tracer, just like with your Widowmaker, when you need to be thinking ahead of time, what's the best angle for me to take? It's not always obvious. It's not always obvious for what flank to be taking as Tracer either. Because you're thinking, oh, I want to flank like I did last time, right? But then you're just going to get shot, right? This isn't going to work. So you have to think. Maybe you could blink underneath and wrap around this way. I like your suggestion a lot. You could wrap around through here and then come up through this way, right? But you're not doing that, right? You're not doing that. And that has to change. Yeah. Oh, but what was the issue?
Probably saw me doing it.
We probably saw you doing it, right? So maybe not doing it the best, and also maybe we could have been a little bit sneakier. Let's actually find out. Maybe we made noise. Yeah, we made noise. You made noise. Too loud.
Yeah, jumping.
Yeah.
I think I jump a bit too much.
Okay. Uh-oh. Lost it.
Panicked a bit, yeah.
That's okay. So this fight's probably lost. I would just go ahead and get out. Alright. Right now, setup. Hide and setup. Sneaky setup. Ninja. Right? They're looking for you now, so you're gonna have to be extra sneaky.
Maybe a bit too far.
Yep, too far again here. Don't blink, don't do anything, just set up. You hear that diva, right? Set up. Don't like this blink here. Would have preferred you just to drop and have 3 blinks for this engagement. So in general, I think this is where we need to work on your blink usage a little bit. So I want you to watch through this fight at 0.5 or 0.25 even, and tell me how you should have used your blinks or how you should have moved. All right?
So I shoot here a bit, and then maybe blink to the left, or like if I see the end of throw nade, to the right or back. Maybe even...
So you kind of get distracted by the Mercy here, which is an issue because you're no longer looking at the person that you need to be blinking on, right? Now, I understand you want to shoot the Mercy here, but that's just a problem, okay? So, uh-oh, we're naded. We recall.
Not in a good position.
Right. Uh-oh. You see?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm now in the middle. I'm even in front of my tank. That's not good. Take a discipline.
You took the words right out of my mouth. What does trigger discipline mean?
It's like when I don't see myself hitting a shot, I don't shoot.
Correct. It's just these mid-clip pauses that is especially important for tracking heroes because it's going to increase your DPS as well as actually practicing your aim more constructively, right? We don't want to get in the habit. I don't know if you've ever, like, I mean, maybe this was in the game that you were talking about earlier when it came to like selectively swinging your sword, right? Not just holding down the button, right? That's a noob stomper. That's what we're having here as well. So that is a huge thing that we'll need to work on.
And that blink was bad too.
Right.
If the Romato doesn't kill him, he just shoots me.
Now let me show you. Watch this. You see that? You did pause a little bit there.
Yeah, I think of it sometimes, especially after like the soldier one. Just okay. What your that's like...
Let's go. Oh, come on! No, I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you.
Yeah, we lost the fight because of it.
Sorry, it happens. All right. So some trigger discipline issues, definitely. Okay, let's keep watching. And I obviously, like, the blink thing needs to be practiced more. This is why I recommend the tryhard FFA for you, because when you saw it, right? Constant 1v1s, constant 1v1s. Like, it's not just about the aim there. That's why I don't like the Vax code as much for Tracer players, especially, because it's like you have infinite blinks. That's not good practice. Right?
Yeah, I use it a bit more for Widowmaker.
Right.
I haven't really gotten anything for Tracer.
Right, yeah.
I would recommend
tryhard. I would recommend tryhard for Tracer, 100%. Okay. I just think
I'm just going into the open.
Yeah, this is too much of an urgency to do something. I think setting up through here made more sense. But yeah. Alright. Oh, set up. Or maybe not. Maybe your roster's just gonna go. Woo! Mercy! Ah, no.
I didn't feel comfortable with chasing Mercy there.
Yeah, no, I agree, 100%. Get out. Alright, like it, I like it.
Thunder vision, I think. I look at it again.
So,
yeah.
I don't know how to best put this as something to practice. But do you remember when you were dueling the Ana Mercy 2 fights ago? And you were shooting, you stopped shooting the Ana to shoot the Mercy. I think that's okay, but this is why shooting Mercy sometimes can be a problem, is because usually you want to be either shooting the target that you could put a lot of pressure onto, which is often the Mercy. However, the problem is you don't see Sleep Dart. You don't see Biognate. And in this instance, you don't see Soldier, right? The reason why I almost wanted you to shoot Ana when you were doing Ana Mercy is so that you could keep focus on moving around and juking Ana, because Mercy's not a threat to you. And so, yes, you wouldn't kill the Ana because, you know, Mercy would heal her. But you would keep the attention and you would survive a long time, and then your team would win off of the distraction. This is the problem with that. You see this? You tunnel on the Mercy, you do not see the Soldier, and so when you're not looking at the Soldier, let me be honest, if you were looking at the Soldier here, you'd blink through him and you'd probably survive. Yeah, does this make sense?
Yeah,
I don't know how to put it, but it's like putting your attention onto whatever is your most threat. And that's why you shoot like the Widowmaker, right? That's why you shoot the Zenyatta, because if you don't shoot, they're not only easy to kill, but if you ignore the Widowmaker Zenyatta, they will kill you, right? They will kill you. All right, let's see what we got here. Trigger discipline. There it is. A little bit of it there. See, our movement is definitely clunky. You know, obviously we don't have a lot of time in the game. There's the lag again, unfortunate. You're like, I love the little shake you do here when the lag ends. You're like,
yeah, like for me, it looks like I don't see what's happening. The screen just stops. Hey, they need to do something after lag.
Yeah.
That's my biggest problem, consistently.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, but yes and no. I think it's the biggest problem, but there's lots of other things that if it...
Yeah.
I'm hesitant because if it... I don't want that to be like where we hang our hat, you know? Oh, we can't fix the lag, you know? So...
it is a thing that exists and I can prove around it.
Yeah. Think about how much better you're going to be when you have that and you don't have the lag to worry about. Okay. Is this the Bastion swap? No.
I think it's one fight after.
All right. I was fully expecting the Bastion swap after that one. I could smell the rage. You know, we lag again. We wasted pulls. Okay, so here's a good question for you, by the way. Now, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're terrified of getting up close to Soldier because he's going to Helix melee you and make you look like a chump, right? But he's going to win every time doing this. I don't know if this is just like a little bit of damage and you wanted to ping him, but, you know, again, talk about Widowmaker here. This is equivalent of doing this as Widowmaker versus a Soldier.
Yeah.
You know, you need to play your range.
I saw you had the Mercy, so I like really didn't want to engage, but it's... going far away and poking him is even dumber.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, to me here, I'm like, either you're gonna sit here and you're gonna kind of keep him busy, make him run around the road, run around the circles, mercy pocket, waste his cooldowns, just generally be a general nuisance, or you're just gonna flat out ignore him, blink through here, maybe hold an angle elsewhere. I don't really know what your options are here, but this, like you said, this just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Hey, all right. Look at that. The ping paid off. Nice use of ping, by the way. Now it's kind of funny because versus Diva, it actually is better to play like the range that you're playing right there, right?
Yeah.
You could actually just like lock on her head. Woo! Nice. All right. Oh! Get. Do you swap? No, I was gonna say no way you swap. You almost have pulse. Okay.
I don't even know if I use it here.
Well, I'm sure you do. I know it's gonna be a big pulse.
Definitely 5k.
5k. Yeah.
6k.
Oh yeah, 6k. That's right. Just throw yourself on the pile.
That's like when I was okay. No, I can't fit Tracer.
Yeah. Nano visor. Okay, so definitely some issues with the Tracer. So what are you seeing with our Tracer so far? So we've talked about Widowmaker. We've talked about Tracer. What's the deal with Tracer?
So Tracer, I have even less practice in, and I think trigger discipline is one of the big things. Then the thing I just have to play more cooldown management.
Okay, so before we forget, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. Go ahead.
No, I'm ready.
Okay. Go in your chat channel and type out the two focuses or one or two focuses that we came up with Widowmaker, and the one or two focuses that we came up with Tracer while I'm pulling up this other replay code. Before we forget. While I peruse through this replay code here.
I actually have no clue what I played in that. That was a late night game.
I'm gonna see a little Widow, see a little Sojourn. We can skip the Sojourn. Hanzo, man.
My Hanzo's not good. I think I switch it.
I mean,
do I?
Nothing's gonna be good if you play it like this.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll have more Widow footage, which is good because we didn't have a lot of Widow footage, so that's good. Let's pull them here. Yeah, okay.
God, I can't type.
That's fine. I want you to type. It's easy to remember. The slower you type, the more easily rememberable it will be. So it works out perfectly.
What's the second one, Widow? My short term. It's the Tracer first. I remember again for Widow. And I have one, but maybe it's.
All right.
My English is escaping me. It's annoying.
That's fine. If you want me, I can type them up if it's faster for you. It's up to you.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Okay. See, I'm not bilingual, so I never have these problems. That's the solution is just to be stupid like me, so you never have to worry about this.
I kind of have to. I'm teaching English in like a few years.
Okay.
It's not good that I struggle that much at English. Oh, I think that's like very basic.
Sure, works for me. Let us resume. Widowmaker. Let's see if we can either complement your feedback goals or just confirm them. I mean, there ain't nothing that's going to challenge you at range of this comp. As long as you've got a juicy sightline and good cover, you're going to be good to go. Okay. Nice. We end up having to give up space, but we have a good sight line. Good. Now, this is interesting here. So, there is nothing else other to shoot than the Ramatra. But be cautious, because if I'm that Pharah, what do you think that Pharah might try to do?
Go around the building to flank me.
Yeah, so it's worth checking every now and then just to make sure that you don't forget. But this is good.
And I see the rockets at the moment, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I love. Do you see what we're talking about with Widowmaker though? Like, you're not hitting a single headshot here, but you see the amount of like damage that you're doing to this tank line, to this bastion.
Yeah.
Like, it's just you don't have to hit headshots with this here. You just need to control a good sight line and just press the button. Like right now, shoot the bastion. You know, like that. That absolutely is the play. Oh, no way! No way! What is going on? I was fixing to get tilted at your healers, and I got tilted at you instead. And then obviously you see the problem here. It's like obviously your downtime, like you're not controlling the sight line here. Let's just sit this here for. You know, like she's allowed to take this position because you're pulling some major clownery here. Look how long she stays here. Look at that. Look at that. And then not only that, but then by the time you reposition. What is that? You know, bro, like you fell down. I have to headshot at that. So then where would you go? Where would you go? Like let's not just critique. Let's improve. Where would you go?
So I could, like in the room, like come to the top.
Here?
It's like around that. Either on the balcony or like down.
Yeah,
like
you could go here.
Too much.
You could go here. You could grapple back up and play, you know, here. I guess. Wouldn't be the end of the world either. Like there's so many options, right? You know this. So and these shots feel so stressful to hit. Like the other problem with being this close is that it's harder to hit your shots because you also end up flinching a lot too, right? And not like obviously like the game doesn't have a flinch thing, but when Pharah is shooting rockets and directly at you because she's on top of you, you kind of need to unscope and move around. We don't want you to unscope and move around. Everything about Widow is like trying to find either being sneaky, controlling sightlines, trying to find a way where you can be uncontested and relaxed and just focus on your aim. Right now, you cannot focus on your aim. You are under so much pressure right now, and you're dead. Nice shot, but you're dead, and we know why, right?
Yeah. The tomfoolery I try to do.
Tomfoolery. That's a great point. Yeah, exactly. It's silly. It's silly. Okay. Then a mine is reasonable. This is good. Now, this is awkward, right? Obviously, you can control Pharah here, but there aren't a lot of positions or angles to take here. So I was thinking maybe you could peek out here briefly, but I would be careful, right? This looks okay to me. Nice. Shocking what you could do when you set yourself up. Nice. That's a good jump there. Probably not really necessary, to be honest. I feel like your sightline's the exact same unless you're like actually pushing up here, but whatever. I
think I can like look around the buildings a bit.
Oh, I see. Like this way. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay. This is good. Obviously, your team is spawn camping, so we're gonna go aggro. They're on Widow, and this is where we're gonna get cute, right? Yeah, I knew it. Look at you. I'm gonna cut you some slack because it felt like this fight was lost, and also your team is spawn camping, so you ended up in a position where it was easier for Pharah to get on top of you. But
I was like, it's like dumb that I'm here, but like my team is here.
Yeah, exactly. So I think my major concern is that like after you get this Widow kill here, then what I would do is if we talk about micro adjustments here, I'm gonna be really nitpicky here. Is this the best position for you to be right now?
Not, yeah.
What about
I'm not
here? I mean, literally 2 meters behind you.
It covers me a bit more from the spawn.
Right. And then you can also, if things get hot, you can just drop, right? Immediately. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what kills me, yeah.
Right, and that's exactly what kills you, right? So, it's the thing, the takeaway is it's like, even when it's not the most relevant, it's still something that you can practice, right? Oh, bless me. You're taking this really like respectfully, not in an intelligent manner whatsoever. You have anthracites, and yet you're not. Do you know what anthracites is called? Like what the term for it is? Like the pro term. We call it walls, right? You have like wall.
Yeah.
Okay. When you have walls, the implication is that you use walls. like right here, you're like, oh, I'm gonna pop infrasight and I'm gonna stand out in the open. This is where you would go here, you'd pre-scope, and then you could either crouch, you know, and then peek or whatever. But like this is dumb. Like this is an even Widow duel. I don't want an even Widow duel. You have an ultimate. Fight dirty, you know? That's silly. There we go. I mean, okay, this is a good shot, but why does this shot work? Does she know that you're grappling? Right? No, she doesn't. She has no idea. And you see that? You did. You could pre-scope. So there's your walls. Oh, be very cautious about hard scoping a Kiriko.
I hate Kiriko.
Yeah, be very, very careful. Okay, Widow's back. So it's odd because you look at their comp and you're like, I don't want to get close to anybody, and yet there's a Widow duel that can control my sightlines. So you're gonna need to be careful. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought for sure you were dead.
I just slipped there, honestly.
Okay, but do we reposition properly?
That's like okay. It's probably like very
we drop right back. Yeah, I don't know. So like as soon as you get the Widow duel and you're like, oh, okay, well, the longer the better, right? Look at their comp, right? So yeah, we go to high and then we drop, and then obviously you're just kind of standing here and then ends up getting you killed. So yeah, it's a consistent issue with you. You get a little bit sloppy with it. Let's keep. There is more Widow in here, I know. So we can watch a little bit more. We started with the attack. Okay, let's do this. Obviously, rough to attack with the Widow here, but when you get some space, play cover here as well. Like again, the details of your positioning. If this Ashe shoots you once, you are dead. Because if you get shot once, where do you go?
The only thing I have, like, hope I can go to the
tree.
Yeah. I mean, I have two healers behind me. Like, I'm like can kind of be confident, but it's.
But why would you not just do the exact same position but behind cover, or like maybe peek this angle here instead, right?
Yeah.
It's just a skill check, right? And you're gonna get punished for it often? No, but at some point it's gonna start.
Dude, honestly, I guess.
Okay. Discorded Orisa is a pretty good shot if you can hit it. She's fortified now, so not so much. Nice job. Too close. Too close.
Yeah, way too close.
Just too close. Just sit here and peek the Kiriko, or shoot the BAP, or the Orisa crosses. You can shoot her like no. You just make these shots so hard, and then it's a lot like the Tracer issue, where you get so close that you forget like you can't see this Orisa, right? You know. But that Kiriko or Orisa should have killed you. All right, walk up. Nice. I don't know how you can see through that tree. I would.
Rough estimation.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, it's obvious I don't have aimbot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, that's how it is. That's how it is. This is just well disguised aimbot this entire time, and sometimes it crashes your computer. I knew it. I knew it all along. These shots are way too good. Okay. This position looks reasonable. I like the cover. Obviously, this is just a little bit outside of Ashe's fall off range, so she's gonna start. She's not gonna do as much damage as she'd like. So this seems favorable. And this is cool too. So you go, I don't want to deal with the Ashe. I'm gonna avoid the Ashe and take the duel elsewhere. That's fine too. Nice. I mean, do you see how like relaxing this is?
Mm-hmm.
You know. Like
it's really good.
Obviously, it's not always possible to hold like nice relaxing positions. You know, like, the enemy team is going to swap heroes or try and take positions where you can't relax. So there's going to be this constant battle between you just want to relax and click heads, and they don't want you to relax and click heads. And if you can position better, then you're going to win. And if they can position better than you, they're going to win. And that's why you're here, right? Is to remind yourself, not even necessarily teach you a lot. Like, I think we haven't done as much teaching in this review as we have in other ones. But what we've done is we've reminded you You need to be winning the mental war here so that you can just click hits. Uh-oh, they're on Hanzo now. There's the counter swap, right? We love to see it.
Yeah.
Like, we love to see it. Like, it's not fun for you because Hanzo can do okay versus you, but let me ask you a question. Kosenas did not want to play Hanzo, right? He wanted to play another hero, and you prevented him from playing what he wanted to play, right? That's a win in of itself. When they swap to quote-unquote counter you, you've already won. Especially if you know how to play versus that hero. Good. I mean, it's obviously unfortunate that you had to drop before you pop sight, so then you didn't have a good angle on their snipers. That kind of stinks. Okay, you take a good sight line. Nice. Woohoo, he's a 1. Oh my goodness gracious. I do think, like, if we can nitpick just a little bit here, if you could hold, like, this angle here, this has to be a little bit better, you know? Rather than here, where it's like you were getting shot by 2 different things. I'm being nitpicky, but again, it's just about minimizing the number of people that you can shoot you. Like, you really want to take one fight at a time, right? Okay. Let me ask you, you got greedy, and you played directly into Ash's hands, because let me ask you a question. You miss both of these shots right now. She misses, you miss. Who wins this duel?
Probably Ash.
Yeah,
she has the dynamite, she can coach gun.
Right, she could just sit there and unscope it, just bam, 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 right? And you're dead. You know? She doesn't even like, that's a great shot, but it doesn't even require a great shot for that to go poorly for you. Okay. Do you have any questions? When we looked at more of your Widowmaker, did it confirm what we saw, or was there new things to consider?
I think it definitely confirmed many, like the sidelines, and yeah, definitely. I think the sidelines the most. New maybe how I like move around the map. Like it kind of plays into it, into sidelines, but like I choose sometimes spots where I personally know this is not a good spot. There are better spots.
Right.
I just want to like see, like especially after like, oh, I didn't hit a headshot in like 2 minutes. I'm going a bit too much in sometimes. Right,
exactly. Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, not really. It was very comprehensive.
Okay, good. I think you have a good head on your shoulders. I think you understand the game well. I think you have a reasonable understanding of the heroes that you're playing as well, certainly beyond a gold level. So I think for you, it's going to be more about 2 things: actually executing these goals in game and getting good quality practice, and then also the way that you're approaching game with your aim training, trying to get those 2 games in per day with maximum focus. Obviously, you're very limited with the amount of time that you have. Can you make that time as valuable and as focused as possible? And I think that's the question that we have to ask. Okay. If you do have any questions, just shoot me a message anytime. Are you familiar with the replay code rule for students?
No.
Okay, so if you have a game a week from now, tomorrow, a month from now, whenever, and you're like not quite sure what you could have done better or how you should have played it, I want you to shoot me the replay code and give me a couple of timestamps that I can look over so that I can offer some advice on what you need to be doing better. And I'll get back to you within a day or 2 on that. So a little bit of follow-up. Sound good? All right, mate. Perfect. Good luck. I will send you the recording when it's done uploading.